there's no point changing a winning team. And we are a little bit surprised that all these kidnappings and these stories are coming back in Edo State because during Obaseki's administration, the security system he put in place was quite good, you know, and he made everybody to know that security is a priority. He did the stuff with the traditional rulers. He also included a whole lot of people into the security arrangements in Edo State. Where did all this, when was it abandoned that kidnappings and all these negative stories we started hearing all these negative stories from Edo State? Where was that good security arrangement, so to say, forgotten?
Well, I think it was during the election. As you know, there was this alarm that the community vigilante could have been used by the then government of Obaseki. And so the Inspector General of Police somehow announced that to avoid conflict of interest, knowing fully well that the community vigilantes are is creation of Obaseki government, and their influence would tint the election in a way that could create a problem, a potential problem. And that's when that community vigilante were removed from the system. And when it was removed from the system, obviously, you know that quite huge number of them, because this is how politicians operate. It's not just Obaseki alone, even this current government. When they do their recruitment into any agency, whether employment, whether anything they create, they politicized it. They don't allow neutral, independent people to play a role, because they see it as an opportunity to give job for the boys. And so when this government came on board, obviously knowing fully well that over 90% or 80% of those recruited into that community vigilantes are the Obaseki boys. And so you will understand that it will be difficult for this government to continue with such a platform. But having said that, the good lessons from the fact that that community security architecture created by Obaseki that helped bring the crime and violence to a minimal level in Edo State should not be discarded totally. Our expectation from Senator Okpebholo, the governor of Edo State, was that he was going to set up a system to look into that architecture, that security architecture, and see how to learn lessons from it and build on the success story and move on with it. But unfortunately, as you know, politicians, they are all the same. They are all the same. They don't like continuity. They want to build new things because that's where the big money will come. That's where you use big resources. So my message to Senator Okpebholo is that he should not allow himself to be deceived, because 4 years is not 200 years. As we speak now, the narrative in Edo State is that it's a heaven of crime. It's a heaven for kidnapping. And that is not going to help him to achieve his goal of reducing poverty in Edo State. So what I will appeal to him is that why try to patronize those who helped him to win the election? He should learn lesson that it's not everybody that helped you to win election that will help you deliver. And so when it comes to the issue of kidnapping and violence and all this conflict in Edo State, he needs the right people. He needs to build on success story from Obaseki regime. That community vigilante that were built, that helped bring violence, kidnapping to a minimal level, he needs to reflect on it again and build on it and sustain it so that at least this could create an enabling environment for potential investors to come in Edo State. Otherwise, I don't see the monthly allocation that is coming to Edo State that will be sufficient to address the poverty that I see in Edo State. And obviously, what will happen now in the next few months is that with the inflow of northern youths daily, thousands into Edo State, the potential danger can be imagined, because every spot of junction in Edo State, right from Uromi down to Auchi, down to Ekpoma, Ikobazua, Uredo, you can see the splash spot of youth. thousands of youths with bike. And these are potential vehicles for crime in Edo State. And the most painful aspect of it, like I said earlier on, is that most of these youth you see that came from the north, they are not Northerners. They are not from Nigeria. Some of them are from Nigeria.
Would like to not profile anyone ethnically. You may call them strangers from outside the country, but calling names of any part of the country, state as we speak, would not appreciate that we do that on the set. Go ahead.